Hi, I'm Coach Bob, founder of the Visionary Forum and Visionary Summit. Very excited for our 10th Visionary Summit coming up in September in Detroit. And so excited to have a theme that we've nailed that I think is very appropriate for visionaries and three amazing, authentic thought leaders to help teach us and guide us and help us to elevate. Our theme for this one is visionary intelligence. So, what is visionary intelligence and how can we elevate through that? And it's turning uh, so sorry, I just blew that one. So turning insight into impact, and ultimately to lead with awareness, kind of who are we and where are we stopping ourselves, amplify knowing ourselves and activating, and that's rolling it out within our human teams. So excited to have Mike, Jeanette, and Dixie with us. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your time and your thought leadership. So, what are general thoughts around visionary intelligence and turning insight into impact? So, what are some initial thoughts on that?
Well, I love the visionary intelligence because I'm always talking about original intelligence. And original intelligence, or there's a great book called Primal Intelligence that after I was talking about original intelligence, a client of mine says, "Oh my gosh, you got to read this book." I'm like, "Well, that's what it is." But it's that source, that comes from within. And the thing I love about what you're putting together is it really, with Mike stepping in, as you look at, are you operating from, your sage, your true, what comes within, what I would call original intelligence. And then Jeanette, really, how do we deliver that to the team as a way to activate their human potential and elevate that? I think I think you've designed something just beautiful.
Awesome. And when, I don't have to figure anything huge out. To me, visionary intelligence, which I love original intelligence, is when I slow down and listen to maybe not my head as much, but my heart and my spirit. It's amazing. The truths come through. But if I'm rushing and I got my head down and I'm caught up in things and haven't let go of the vine, I get stuck. But Jeanette or Mike, any other comments on visionary intelligence?
I'll jump in if that's okay.
Please.
What I like about the idea of intelligence is it's something that is innate to every one of those visionaries, this innateness to be a visionary, right?
Right.
And they're a pretty small percent of the population, right? But also, we know that intelligence can be grown.
Right.
So, all kinds of intelligences that we see can be
Right.
grown. And that's what I like about it.
Awesome. Awesome. Appreciate that. Jeanette?
Yeah, so visionary intelligence, much like any other, when you get profiled on any kind of intelligence, you tend to feel a little bit unique or separate or in a very small group. And
Right.
visionaries are a small group, to what Mike had said. And oftentimes, and I find with my EOS work, they're feeling like, where do I really fit in with my team? How can I not be a distraction to them? But they have intelligence and wonder and soul to bring to their organizations. And they don't know how to tap into that VQ, that visionary intelligence, to do it. So helping them translate and still be part of the team and activate that within their team is something I see every day, and I'm excited to share with them.
Awesome. And I've heard this, there's this cool book that I've read it by this wonderful person named Jeanette Wade and also Jonathan Smith. But when Jeanette, when you and I connected again last year on my podcast, and you talked about optimizing, is putting in a business operating system. A lot of us really like EOS. Join and be active in peer groups and coach. And I think to be coached and to coach. I'm like, hello, this is what we're doing. So you put a name to a lot of what we're doing. And so when we get together in Summit, it's a deep dive off the grid. So we're going to learn from all three of you, learn on our own, learn in breakouts, learn as a community, and we elevate as a community. And it's not all just like, this is wonderful. We see someone struggling. We're like, all right, let's go in. How can we help? And usually it's an unresolved emotional issue. And because of the trust that we build quickly, we go in, especially with three experts. But I love that. So, Mike, we're going to be starting with you. And again, we talked about awareness, amplify, and activate. And I know that doesn't cover what all we're talking about, but you're going to be leading us off with awareness. So, what does that look like? And just a quick overview.
So awareness is really a foundational ability to, to grow rapidly, grow at all, but grow rapidly. It's foundational to emotional intelligence. The first thing that we look at is self-awareness. So that's the essence of it. But what we're really looking at is the hidden ways that were the bottleneck to our vision becoming reality, realizing the vision. And then, the bottleneck that the team creates. And this is just through some just brain science, the way our brain works. It works in some ways that it's in our way.
Right.
But it's not mysterious. It just needs to be uncovered. And then once we uncover it with some insight or awareness, what do we do with that awareness to
Love that.
activate it both within ourselves and the team?
And just a little bit more explanation. So I know you spend and teach a lot about positive intelligence and being an our saboteur instead of sage, that kind of thing, and then breaking through the ceiling of complexity. So if you can comment a little bit more on that.
Yeah, piece of intelligence has really done a great job of simplifying this whole idea of brain science and performance science. So we use terms like sabotage, so it sticks out in our memory, and that's goes to the awareness. If it's touchy in our brain, we'll touch the hidden sabotage, right?
Right. Right.
We see the soldiers on the field. We don't see the saboteurs, blowing up bridges in the middle of the night. So,
Right.
and so that's what saboteur and sage is. That's our inner wisdom, the strengths that every human being has, that you don't have to learn, that you don't have to instill into you. They're there. We just help pull them out in rapid fashion.
I love it. I love it. And I find myself and many of the visionaries I've coached when we're in startup mode, we might be in saboteur, we're in the business. And so to implement a great operating system is essential. Otherwise, we're going to either go out of business or, you know, quit. And then once we put in a business operating system, a lot of us visionaries are like, what do we do now? And that's to know thyself and to become the sage. And it's like, what does that even mean? And so I love that that's where we're helping people to, as I learned from Dixie, is to put the soul back in our role. And that is put that vision, that intuition, that original intelligence back in. And that's where we are at. And that's what we're learning to do more about. So excited, Michael. Appreciate that. So Dixie, you're going to be coming in with amplify. And again, I know that's one word, but tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, it beautifully picks up exactly where, what Mike is talking about. I always say noticing is our superpower. Like the
Mm,
ability to notice. In fact, I'm always telling people if you just notice without judgment, then you can create without resistance. Because
yeah,
once you're in judgment, you have resistance, right? But noticing is the superpower because once it's conscious, then we can choose it or change it. And that is exactly, what Mike is saying is you notice, well, this is my sabotage pattern. This is my saboteur. This is how it activates. This is how it shows up. Now you have the power to change or what I call the orientation. Where are you working from? Or what what I often call the are you working from your identity or your role? Are you working from soul? And
right,
we're all really saying the same thing. So we're going to amplify that by
right.
understanding that so often the vision that we've created actually was created by the identity or the saboteur. It
Huh,
was created in order to fill what we think we're lacking. And so we're
right.
creating the vision that we would just create if we were just creating what we love for no reason at all. But I love it. So we'll start with that and then really understand, where we have the power in our everyday work to
Right.
change how that shows up. And then we get to have Jeanette pick it up and how do you take that out to the team?
Oh, I love it. And I think that just resonates so much with me is I have this original intelligence idea. But I'm like, oh, I shouldn't do it like that. I should dumb it down a little bit. And then I think that's more from the role and what I think people want. And when I become my authentic me, which often I'm like, I had this great idea. It's like, oh, I had that 10 years ago, but I never put it out there. But to give ourselves the confidence to be ourselves. And in the community that we've created, what's cool is sometimes people are like, is that it? And the rest of the team is, that's what we've been telling you for years. You're amazing at it. So it is, again, we're elevating the entrepreneurial spirit and celebrating the visionary. So I love it. Can't wait to learn more. And then Jeanette, you're bringing it all home regarding your book, Human Team, and it's around activating the human potential. So how do you help bring it home for us?
Yeah, so I think every visionary, and I am one, wishes that the people around them, the relationships, their team, or any humans they're dealing with would come along with them. Like, let's
Right.
do this, right? I've got 1,000 ideas. Why can't we do them all? Instead
Right.
of seeing how they are part of those relationships and teams, whether or not it's a human team or like we talked about my book Grow with how do I work with others in my network, that we can activate that human potential of the people around us, including ourselves being part of that team in order to get the most out of that visionary intelligence. So, how do we get others involved in this so that we
Right.
actually get the most from it?
And what's the biggest complaint that I hear from most visionaries? That I have to do it all myself. No one else gets it. Well, if we talk about EOS, as goes the leadership team, so goes the rest of the company. Okay, we got that down. Okay, as the visionary goes, so goes the rest of the visionary. So, for me, and again, I call it craft. We teach what we want to learn. So to unscatter the chatter and to have a simple, clear vision. And yes, there's 20 of them, and we have to decide what's going on, but I love that. And so helping us to simplify our message, which we go through Mike and through Dixie, and then how do we communicate it with the team? And I know you talk a lot about human needs. I've been through your presentation. It's like, well, yeah, that makes sense. But if I'm not meeting those needs, they're probably not following and jumping off that cliff with me. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, any other comments about the summit? We call it 48 hours of all things visionary. And again, with our 10th one, we have a fair amount of people return. We're excited to grow our ecosystem a little bit more. So if any of you have other people or anyone's interested, it's going to be amazing. It already is amazing. So I'm so excited to have it. But any other final comments from any of you regarding visionary intelligence or our summit in September?
I love the playground. So I've been to the summit before,
Okay.
and it's a playground for visionaries, right? But it's but the playgrounds are hard. Playgrounds are
Right.
fun and challenging and emotional and very human, and then you come back out and play again. So I know it's like a 48-hour roller coaster of everything, which is what visionaries love, right? So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you. And we bring in visionaries to help us because they get us. We got to keep it short and quick. But again, we're open and ready. If you're not willing to be open and honest and be vulnerable and learn and grow, this is not for you. But if you want to come have a ball and grow and help others to grow, that's a big part of this. Is it's not just me, but it's like, oh, I can help the three of you by even just being a mirror and open and honest for each other. So I appreciate that. All right. Well, we will, and each of you are going to be speaking at the forum over the next couple months. So we're excited to roll that out. I love you all and just so excited to learn with you and appreciate you and have a good day.
Thanks, Bob.
All right. Thanks.